Hi, I'm Wiley Combs. I'm the editor-in-chief of News from Nowhere. And in our interview series for This is Laramie, this week we have selected Kelli Trujillo, who is a longtime Laramie resident, and we're going to discuss what she does for work and what she does for fun. And then, hopefully, we might get to sample a little bit of her music. So, Kelli, how long have you lived in Laramie?
I moved here in 1997 as a graduate student, so 18 and a half years.
And so you were a graduate student in what field?
In geology, paleontology specifically.
And you moved here from?
From western Colorado, from Gunnison area.
Why did you pick Laramie?
I picked Laramie because it was a town that I thought I could live in. There are only a few schools that have paleontology graduate programs, and my options were Berkeley and Chicago, New York, and places like that that I didn't think I could live in for even 2 years. And so I thought, Laramie, I think I can do 2 years there. I think so. And my plan was to stay here for 2 years, get the master's, and get out because I did not like it at all.
So obviously your plan changed
Yes,
somewhere
plans
between
change.
how did the plan change? What kept you here in town?
Well, first what kept me in town was I ended up getting more into the research project that I was working on and stayed on for a PhD. And by the time I had spent 4 more years in Laramie, I had actually found a true community here and wanted to stay here. And when I had finished grad school, there weren't any jobs out there at the time. And I did a little of this and a little of that and then fell into doing paleontological consulting work, which is where we try and save fossils from harm during construction projects. And so there was work I could do based in Laramie working on those kinds of projects. And so one thing led to another, and I'm still here doing that as well as a few other things.
So I assume you've worn a couple different hats here in town. Can you give us kind of a brief synopsis of what you've done here in Laramie?
For work things, I've taught at Laramie County Community College, the Albany County campus here. Right now I'm teaching a non-majors biology class, and I love doing it. It's a blast. It's a great time, and the folks out there are really great. I was the manager of the Geological Museum on campus for about 4 years, and that was really fun. And I have done the paleo consulting work as well. And I'm also an adjunct researcher with the Haupt School right now working on a Park Service project for them. So I've so far not had any lack of work and things to do here that's interesting.
But somehow you've also made time for some other stuff, which now seems like the time to get into that. So what do you do for fun, Kelli?
I do way too many things for fun, actually. I play a lot of music. It's one of the reasons I did stay in Laramie is because there's a great music community here, and it has changed so much in the last 15 years. I started playing with a friend who I was in a bluegrass band with later on, and at that time, Maggie Simpson, if you remember her, she and Peter Queel were a couple of the only musicians around playing out. And now you can't go 2 nights a week without music in town someplace that you can go hear amazing musicians for free even, or just a small cover. So the music scene has grown immensely here in town. And now I can play with everybody. I can play all kinds of things. I can play every kind of music that I want to play as long as I want to play it. So it's really nice.
So
really
what kind of music is that then? That you
Used to play a lot of bluegrass. I don't do that so much anymore. Right now my focus is on Irish traditional music. And it's kind of, it's a kind of music that you either have to get completely obsessed with or you dabble in it and know 2 or 3 tunes. I think I'm up to over 70 tunes now that I know. I've been doing it for a couple of years now. And we have some great players in town who are very welcoming of beginners. And so I can learn and work along with them and grow and not feel like a slacker because I don't know every tune. But they're so supportive that it's more of an inspiration when I hear something I don't know. And I just want to learn more rather than, oh, I suck, this is awful. So it's really fun. It's really fun.
Well, don't feel shy now. We'd love for you to name some names of people that you're playing with.
Oh, gosh, we play with Rod Garnett, who is an amazing flute player, and Micah Schweitzer is also an amazing flute player. And then Bob Lefevre is mandolin and guitar. He's been playing with us, and it's really nice to have him back. And there's a few other people who pop in and out from time to time, but those are the main folks that we have on a regular basis pretty much every week that we play.
And you play every Monday?
Every Monday, yeah. Every Monday, either at Night Heron or at O'Dwyer's.
Okay. And I hate to drag you into the past, but can you mention some of the other bands that you did in your bluegrass phase?
Yeah, sure. I had the first bluegrass band I was in was a really fun one. It was called Trouble in the Yard. And it was a 4-piece band, and we had John Martz, who was a great, he's in New York now, upstate New York, but he was the banjo and dobro player and a great singer. And then John Wittenberg, who's now in California, was guitar. And then Erin Youngberg, who is now a bluegrass staple down in Colorado. She was Erin Coates at the time, and she was only 18 years old when she started playing with us here. And that was a really fun band. We played up in Centennial 2 or 3 times a month. We played all over the place, and that was really fun. And then I was in a bluegrass band called the Zarks with a bunch of young guys and me. It was really fun. And we were mostly a Rolling Stones and John Hartford cover band,
Okay.
but in a bluegrass vein, and that was a blast. And I was in a trio called Black Crow, White Crow with Birgit Burke and Tisha Shelton here in town, and that one was a lot of fun. And right now I'm playing in a couple of different trios that are just kind of pick up little things when we get a gig, and we get that going with John Gardzaleski and Sharon Martinson in one of them, and Ken Giroux and Stan in the other one. And see what else. I think that might be it right now. I was in Jelon Crossland's band for 2.5 years as a backup singer for a little while, and when we all realized that I was very bad at the dancing be a girl part of that, I started playing rhythm guitar in it. And that was much more comfortable for me to do. You know, the other singer, Heather Guerin, was really, really good at the whole dancing stuff and all of that, and I looked like a fish out there. It was awful. So, and then I was in Jay Sjogren's band for about a year and a half, and that was really fun too. In that band, I learned a brand new instrument. I learned the tenor banjo for that. And Jay's songs are not the most straightforward of songs, so to learn them on an instrument that I didn't really even know was very challenging, but it was really fun.
So how many instruments do you play then?
What I would consider somewhat well is guitar and mandolin and tenor banjo. I've been learning 5-string banjo too, the concertina, flute, a little bit of penny whistle, piano. I think that's it. I'm like looking at my quiver of instruments back there.
Well, so do you make it a habit to just pick up new instruments regularly then, or?
Not on purpose. I've got enough to work on, but you get kind of fascinated with the sound and decide you want to do it. So that's the way it was with banjo. It was like, wow, I really like the way that old-time banjo sounds. Oh, my sister has one she can loan me. Sure, I'll play that. That'll be fun. And concertina was kind of a accidental thing. In Jay's band, he wanted some accordion stuff, and the accordion that he loaned me was too heavy. And I thought, I've always wanted to learn the concertina. I'll do that. And that was fitting for the Irish music, too. So, and I forgot about the button accordion there that Bob Moore's mom had in her attic. And I wasn't planning on learning a button accordion, but someone gives you an accordion, and okay, I'll learn the accordion.
So, we're here in your lovely home with your
dogs
animals
and the
moving
cats.
around. What kind of places other than your lovely home do you like to hang out around town?
Oh gosh, every day I take the dogs out on the prairie east of town and wander around out there. And they run around and sniff things and pee on things and bark at things and
like dogs or boys sometimes.
Yes, well, yes. And I love the Beer at Altitude and spend some time there, and also at Alibi. Their backyard is just the best. But then also up at Happy Jack and up in the Snowies too. Like to be skiing and snowshoeing and everything up there as well. So.
Do you still play gigs up in Centennial at all?
Haven't in a while. When I was in Jay's band, we played up there quite a bit, and I played a few with Birgit last last winter up there, but haven't played up there for a while. So I guess it's been about a year.
What do you find interesting about paleontology?
Well, everything is. I've always been interested in life and biology things and geology both. And paleontology is the place where those two come together. So you can look at the animals or the plants and focus on that, but you're also looking at the rocks to figure out the environment that those plants or animals lived in. And so it's a combination of the things that I love the most. Plus, it's really fun just to be out. And I do a lot of field work in the summer. I teach a field course for the University of Pittsburgh Honors College. I teach that with 2 other main instructors, and then we have other people who come in and out for that. And that's been 10 years now that we've been doing that. Spend about 6 weeks with students up near Rock River.
Oh, okay.
And teach them how to find dinosaurs and dig dinosaurs and teach them about the rocks. But we also teach them about the ecology of the area. So the class is called Learning to Read the Earth. And so it's everything about that place. And it's a really great class. It's really fun.
So how does that interface with what you do for fun? Do you view them as like 2 completely separate spheres?
No, not at all. As far as the hiking and the other things that I like to do, I can go out and hike, and I'm always looking for fossils. I'm always looking at the ground or the birds or the whatever while I'm out. So it's all kind of ties in together for me. And I've written a few songs out on the outcrop, that kind of thing.
So do you bring do you have like cookouts or whatever like when you're out with the University of Pittsburgh group? Or?
No, we really don't. The students will stay out on the property for a few nights a week, but I almost always come home because of the pets, and I have a big garden and everything, and so need to keep on top of that. And I've always got so much going on. Summer is absolutely insane for me with the pit stuff and then gigs and so much going on in town and farmers markets and everything. And I'm actually thinking about starting to sell homemade cheese at the farmers market because I don't have enough other things that I'm doing
you can
right
always
now.
add more
So,
things.
but nobody sells cheese in town, and I make good cheese, so why not?
That's noted. I'm noting that for now. Cheese.
Cheese, cheese, yes.
So why don't we really? Can you thoroughly explain what it is about Laramie that keeps you here, that keeps you turning down job offers, other places? What do you like about this place?
For me, it's a combination of a bunch of things. My family is in Denver, and so I'm close enough that I can go down there for a quick afternoon party or something. My sister came up for Easter on Sunday, kind of a spur of the moment, just came up for a few hours. So it's nice to be close like that. It's also, I love the terrain around here and being able to get into the mountains really quick or out on the prairie. And being close to my field areas is really nice too. But as far as the town itself goes, the community is just amazing. It's unexpected, it's diverse, it's weird, it's fun, it's strange, it's it's a great place. A couple years ago when I was considering taking a job in Western Colorado at the Museum of Western Colorado, was trying to decide whether to stay here and try and make it work here longer with the consulting work or go out there for a solid, good job, still in my field, in a place I could live. I was trying to do pro-con lists and everything and trying to figure out where I wanted to be and what would work best for me. And it was during the first art and music thing when it was in the Civic Center the first time. And I walked through to see where the space was where we were going to play, and Rod Miller was sitting there, and he comes up and gives me this giant hug, and he's like, "Oh, do you want a tamale?" And he hands me a tamale. He says, "It's roadkill and lamb." I'm like, "Okay, awesome." And I walk out of the place with a roadkill tamale in my pocket, walk 2 blocks or walk just across the street home, and I think I need to stay here. I think I need to stay here. I'm in a place where I can walk through to check something out, be handed a roadkill tamale and a hug, and yeah, this is a good place.
Where else would that
Where
happen?
else would that happen? Yeah, you know.
Well, I'm glad that the art and music thing could create that sort of experience for you. Well, I think that's as good a place to stop as any.
Okay.
Thank you very much for
Yeah, you
agreeing
bet.
to talk with us, Kelli, and for agreeing to play a little bit of music for us.
Sure.
I'm Wiley Combs. I'm the editor-in-chief of News from Nowhere. This interview has been with Kelli Trujillo, who is the adjunct instructor at LCCC and adjunct researcher at the Hobbs School for Environmental Resources at the University of Wyoming, and also does private paleo consulting work among a number of other things. Keep an eye out for her cheese sales coming up at the farmers market. I'm Wiley Combs once again, and this is Laramie.